Hi, Hank here, my business partner Steve,
Hello.
to Market Media, as I hope you know, or you wouldn't have gotten to the make a bestseller,
How to write a bestseller.
webinar.
Something kind of us and Big Beyond have only done about 1,000 times.
Yes. So Steve, please tell them who David Vigliano is, what this,
So David Vigliano is a guy we work with a lot. He's probably, as a literary agent, which is somebody who helps you get a major publishing deal, has hundreds of #1s, bestsellers, et cetera. Some of the biggest clients in the world, from Michael Jackson to Mike Tyson. I mean, his list is freaking crazy. Alicia Keys, Willie Nelson, Shaquille O'Neal. And there's a formula, just like anything in the world, there's a formula for writing a bestseller.
and so we work with David a lot.
A ton.
Vigliano used to be just Vigliano, and then
Yeah, he got purchased by a major player.
AGI. It's AGI Vigliano. You can look up David. He's more legit than I am. Like, he's been only doing.
Not more legit than
I didn't say you. I said
that's what I'm saying. And he's written. I mean, this process, this course, which is why we love it, is the process we've used to sell millions and millions of dollars in advances to our clients.
This is not about writing
A book.
publishing. Correct. Like, if you want to self-publish, go self-publish. Like,
Well, no, that's actually a different conversation.
self-publish.
There's only two reasons to self-publish. One, your audience is so freaking big that you want to make a ton of money and sell direct, right? That's one reason. The second reason is nobody's going to buy your book. This course is so that somebody actually buys your book. Even Grant Cardone in his last book, we actually went through this entire process, made him write a book. We actually wrote the proposal for him. But this course is literally what many people charge tens of thousands of dollars to get you to the finish line.
What are we teaching that has anything to do with that same book?
So we're going from scratch. It's how to write a book proposal that will get you the attention and the dollars you want from a major publisher. Whether you go through a literary agent like David Vigliano, it will also teach you the steps, teach you the name, the big players, and teach you basically from A to Z.
Well, what a few people realize, because everyone's like, "Oh, I'm writing my book right now." You don't sell a book. You come up with your idea. We help you. Vigliano helps you look at the hook, the book, what it's about. And he looks, because he's placing books, big time books, expert books, all kinds of books in the marketplace. He's saying your idea meets this level in the marketplace. So you're taking your idea for a book and you're figuring out how it's going to sell, how big it's going to be, because David works with us with we've sold so many books through David. And
we sold another book yesterday for one of our clients, Kyle Gross, who is not a major guy yet in the media, but the proposal was the process. We went through the exact process we're going to teach you in this course with Kyle. I think the most important point of what you were talking about is the book proposal is not a book. A proposal is a 30 or 40 page document that is basically a sales and marketing document. It tells me what your voice is, who your audience is, what the book is about. It's what we call the 5 questions. And the first thing we do when we write a book proposal is we start you with the 5 questions, right? Who are you? Why are you writing the book? What's the book about? Who's the audience for the book? And how are you going to help me sell it? You answer those.
You're going to help me sell it.
That's correct.
Yeah.
But you answer those 5 questions.
Because any publisher is going to ask you that anyway.
Yeah, and
you can sell a book unless you can demonstrate some way that you're helping move that book.
And there's lots of ways to do that, right? You can do that by, if you're in business, you can start to say that you're going to make it part of the sales pipeline. You're going to make it part of the way in which you deliver products to your clients. There's all different tricks to make sure that every one of those 5 questions are answered in the biggest way possible, right? So this course will literally walk you through from A to Z. And I think the first step really is, obviously always, is what is your hook or title for your book? It starts there. Then it goes to your table of contents, and then it is the 5 questions.
And a hook isn't just the title, and a hook isn't just like what kind of makes it interesting. What we help people do, and the reason this course, I think, is, I don't think anybody can do what we do, because we do this for so many of our clients, Greg included,
Robin,
everybody.
Tim Storr.
The hook is the original unique idea that's going to separate your book in the marketplace. And without the hook, without you understanding what the hook is and how your book and your idea is different from everybody else's, there is no book.
Yep.
No one's going to buy your fucking book unless you have a great hook that makes you say, oh, I need this book. It's not like all these others for this one reason.
Yeah, it's not like your website or your one sheet. A lot of clients that we work with are basically breaking down the methodology. This is actually one big idea that comes out of the way in which you operate.
This is not your autobiography.
No, nobody wants to buy a memoir from a first time. A lot of people try to write memoirs.
Get out, leave the class right now if you want to write a memoir.
Not for your first book. Yeah, no, they won't buy it. They just simply
Yes,
won't buy it.
stupid. No one
So,
cares about
no,
this story.
one example is for a book is even the new book you're writing, right? So your title is Hate Me. Now, there's a reason we have your book title is Hate Me, because it is who you are. How did we come to hate me?
Well, and it's also it's an actionable thing. Like, I was just on a coaching call earlier today, and the biggest problem this person had was uncomfortability, making other people uncomfortable. When you become a media star, when you start putting your information out in the media, there are going to be people that are not going to like you. They're not going to like your idea. If you're taking a stance, you're picking left or right, up or down somewhere, and pick a stance of what you stand for, there's going to be people not agreeing with that. People are going to hate you. If you go into the market, go into media, understanding that I'm here to polarize, that I'm here to take a stance and put up with the pushback I get, that you're in the business to. That's where all the Grant stuff and my stuff come together. Which
The
is
most famous people
collecting
in the world
haters.
have the most haters.
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey is on the most hated list.
Anytime you take a stance or stand up for anything, somebody's going to try to push you down.
But I guess for a living, what Hank and I deal with the most is what he's talking about. So as we start to build somebody out, they start to have some traction, some level of success. They start to run up against, oh my God, people aren't going to like me because I'm telling them what I think.
And only the first people that appear in your timeline are these haters,
100%.
and clients, and you're going to use that as an excuse to be like, see, this isn't right. This is wrong. This idea isn't good. No one likes it. It's like, it doesn't work that way. Just because people hate you and your idea does not mean it's not good.
Especially your family, right? The first people we always say about my mother or my brother or my wife or my son is embarrassed by what I'm saying. Always. It's so weird.
It's the worst.
But the most important point, we're rambling on about your book, Hate Me, but the reason that's so important for people watching this and what we're going to teach you in this course is that Hate Me came from the edgy side of what we do for a living, right? Star Power, which is the product brand, right, is into market media. Star Power is all about how do you actually get attention and make money from getting attention, right? But so all we did was write a book called Star Power and said, here's how you do these things like we do in a course. That's great for a course. That's not a book. A book is taking the singular idea that has the most polarizing impact on your audience and saying, this is what I want to say. So that's what Hate Me is.
Well, and what I always push for when we're in those meetings with clients is the hook is the most significant, interesting, unique, actionable advice.
Yeah, of course.
Be obsessed or be average.
Yeah.
That's an instruction. Be obsessed, become obsessed, or be average. 10x is an instruction of what to do.
Correct.
Mel's 5-second rule. That tells you what to do. Count down from 5. Assuage your anxiety and begin the text.
Yep. We have our new book, Strategic Reaction. You know, how do you? That's Kyle Gross. How do you, when something screwed up happens to you, how do you actually react? How do you know how to prepare yourself to react in a spontaneous circumstance? It's actually really interesting.
Yeah, the best hook and the best title is the single most interesting, sellable, controversial, actionable advice that you have.
Right, Matt Monero now is out with You Need More Money. I'm not sure that was semi-actionable, I guess. But the point of that,
then he fills that in.
And it comes from his story about, his brother and having a wake-up call saying, oh my God.
And he teaches you how to get more money.
It sure does. So I guess that really leads us into, so this course will teach you on how to find your hook, how to put a title on it, and then obviously how to build out a proposal. The body of the proposal, in addition to answering those 5 questions, are you have to have a combination of a couple of things, right? Stories and takeaways.
Wait, first we do the chapters.
Table contents, of course. And then we write quick little summaries. But the basic premise of the book, inside of both the overview, so that in the proposal, what we're going to teach you how to do is about a 10 to 12 page overview that leads you through those 5 questions, right? And those 5 questions, as I said, will answer who are you, what do you, what is
and
the
who
book
are
about?
you means why you.
Yes, why are you the guy writing this?
Yeah, why does it have to be you?
Right. Like for Matt Monero, You Need More Money. He's a guy that built a $100 million business, but he realized one day he may not have enough, right? Grant Cardone, obsessed or be average. He's obsessed. He shows you, And I love that rationale, right? At the end of the day, he's saying obsession is told to be a bad thing. He's telling you it's a good thing. The most famous and richest people are the ones that actually are obsessed. Hate me, the same idea, right? At the end of the day, if you get haters in a big number and you're not doing anything wrong, it means you're going to have just as many people loving you. So where were we? Oh, stories and takeaways. Right. So inside of each of the chapter summaries and the overview of what you're writing, the most important thing people want to see is two things. One is that you have experience teaching me what you're going to teach me in this book. So they don't want you to take a very emotional story, as Hank talks about all the time, right? So one emotional story both of yourself, how this process taught yourself, and then how you actually help the third party. So in Hate Me, we could talk about, how many people have we gone through this process with, as well as yourself, right? Your first speech at 10X was about how your father impacted you, and that's what's driven you, right? Yeah. And then same thing with. So you want to tell the story of both you and somebody else, and then literally walk me through the process that I'm going to learn in this book by your story. Right.
We teach you how to sell yourself. Because if you can't sell that you're the integral deliverer of this idea, then there's no sale there either. The first thing that I know Nina does on the phone, but the first question she literally asks is, why you?
Why are you writing? Why are you writing this book? And we help you answer all those questions. There are actual answers. What's awesome about and fun about the process that we've created with Vigliano and others, it's great to have Vigliano as a part of this, is that we've done this over and over and over again. It's so different than Grant Cardone teaching you how to do a cold call, right? He's done it a billion times, and we've learned. So we basically, it's literally a color by number process that we're going to teach you, and we're just going to layer in who you are, what your idea is, what the hook is, and then how to do it.
First of all, I can't stress how amazing, like having David Vigliano, literally one of the top 5 biggest lit agents in the world, look at your proposal, your idea, and help you craft it, give you notes on it. I don't even know what we're selling it at, but it's so vastly under. Like, you can't get access like this. It's insane. That we're giving our personal business connection to you is insane. It's basically
the reason for us, we're also big sellers. It's the first time we've done this course, so we want to really understand what works and what doesn't work, and we're going to actually, the reason we're doing it at such a low price is it's our first time. We want to make sure it really over delivers for everybody. We want to make sure we get a lot of people best sellers. There's a formula that's worked over and over. I want to come back to the proposal. So takeaways. It's the one thing everybody seems to forget how to teach people is how to, right? It's over and over again.
What's the takeaways there?
In all the table of contents. Yeah, so you got to make sure that
each chapter has a takeaway.
It's basically helping to build out your own methodology.
Steve does proposals more than I do. That's why he's here. I like the big ideas and I like the talent and the personality side, but I like it, but I don't know.
We took, well, except for his book, God forbid we ever get him to finish his freaking proposal. Finally, he got a little note today that may motivate you. You send it? Not yet. He's the worst. He's fired.
I like when the agents contact me and want to know where my book is.
Our agents are in business with us. They're constantly talking to us.
It's not about my book, thank God, but now it's finished.
So what else do we got for anybody?
So we do the chapters. I think the biggest thing also that comes out of it, for me, how I look at the chapters that are really helpful to people, it's a linear or some kind of order of the process. So the thing we haven't talked about yet is that the hook and the chapters, this is all talking about for someone who's an expert that has something to teach. The reason this isn't your biography, this isn't a memoir, this isn't a Tom Clancy this isn't your Jack Ryan, but this isn't that type of book.
Jack Ryan?
I don't know, it's like if you think you're writing a spy novel, this isn't, I can't really help you there.
Oh, you get Jack.
But this is, Ben Affleck played that fucking role too.
I've never.
Tom Cruise.
That was Tom Cruise. This is literally how you solve my problems in my life.
Pretty much everybody we work with is an expert.
Yeah, but not everybody knows that. Not business people don't inherit, like, dude, we get a lot of pitches from people. Dude, when I said I wanted to help him, we had the sign up at GrowthCon. People were like, yeah, here's mine. And literally, they were memoirs.
But you can always convert a memoir. We do it all the time. You can convert a memoir into a takeaway. It's because you're just taking the stories and now you're actually putting the takeaways on top of the stories.
But distilling stories into actionable advice.
We did it with Bradley. Bradley's another guy we're helping write a book because we turned his storybook into an actionable takeaway.
You have to. That's what the chapters give you. This exercise alone makes you a better media personality because now you see your stories, your life, the things you've learned, the things you do as actionable takeaway. Your chapters force that to happen. So this whole process, it literally makes you into better talent.
100%. And the other thing also is that, we can only, how to write a bestseller is not for you if you want to write a kid's book. We can't help you. We're not smart enough about it.
No memoirs, no kids.
No fiction.
No fiction, yeah.
I love it. Everybody's always saying, even clients that we've done well with, hey, I also have a kid's book. I don't know anything about kids' book. Everybody loves a kid's book. It's crazy. But this course is for you as an expert. If you're running a business, if you have methodology, when you're teaching somebody something about something, that's when this course comes in.
If you're in this room or watching this video, I don't think I need to sell you on the importance of having a book in order to show people.
Essential. But that's why a bestseller is huge. A bestseller introduces you into the marketplace, establishes credibility. Not only does it give you a nice cash advance if you can sell the book for a good dollar value, but it also provides a level of cred that everybody, if you want to be a speaker, writing a bestseller is not self-publishing. I mean, all of the things that people want to do come from actually having the imprint of a major publisher behind you.
What's the least advantage you've ever gotten?
The least advantage? I mean, almost always, like when you work with Vigliano or Nina, I mean, you're almost always getting at least 6 figures. You know, we got a lot of money from Mel Robbins' first book before she ever was anything. What was that? It was 250 or 300,000 like 5 or 6 years ago. I mean, I guess 75 is the least number we've gotten. I mean, this process really does work. It's crazy.
I'm handing you $75,000.
No, let's be careful. I think, that's kind of the book process. I think the one thing a lot of people also ask is, what is the process, right? So the process is, if you do this right, this 6-week boot camp should have you, if not a finished proposal, but shortly thereafter, within 2 to 4 weeks. From the time,
complicated. I mean, it is 30 pages. I mean, it's right. Obviously, the book.
So we're sending them a couple of examples and literally just copy the fucking format from Joe Torre. By the way, Joe Torre's book proposal is what you're going to get. Super cool. Super cool. And a couple of other of our clients.
You get to look at some very rich, successful people's proposals.
Joe Torre's still alive?
I didn't say he was alive. I just said he was rich and successful. Is he
alive?
alive?
He's alive, right? It's like 90. Oh, no, he runs baseball or something. He's a big shot in baseball.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, this. So yeah, we obviously provide the proposal as examples. I think the thing that everybody does ask us though is, so outside of that, what is the process? The process of selling a book comes in one of 2 ways. You either use a literary agent. A literary agent is basically a real estate broker for books, right? That's what David Vigliano is. The advantage.
More so. An agent kind of just helps sell, which he does do. David gives us notes on the content.
Yeah, no, but more than that, right? So when you work with Vigliano or Nina from Dupree Miller, those folks, when they work with you, you're almost guaranteed a deal because they have such leverage with publishers.
They're helping you tweak your thing to meet the market's demand.
Correct. But it's even the level of credit as well, right?
Well, it's that on top of everything.
That is
that they're shaping your ideas to meet the market. That's invaluable.
Yeah, and plus I hope to find a bunch of proposals in this process that we're going to want to take out. And one of the advantages of working with 2Market Media is we've got serious leverage and relationships as well. So part of the process is using whatever leverage you can to get publishers to want to buy your book. You want to use anything and everything. That's why Vigliano has so much success. He has a track record. That's why we've had so much success. We have a track record. And that's what else have we got in our course? I do like the idea of making sure we can find a couple of major proposals to take out.
I hope so.
Right?
It would be weird to have so many people writing so many proposals and there isn't like a handful of kick-ass ones.
I would certainly hope so. What do we got, Mom? We got any questions?
I don't know. Does anybody have any questions? No questions on the line yet?
Questions? We took 20 minutes. That's plenty of time.
Latoya asked, after finishing the boot camp and after I write the proposal, what happens next?
You sell it. You take it to agents and publishers, and part of the course is going to show you how to do that. It's sales time. That's the fun time, right? Once the proposal is done, it's time to sell.
Getting a book proposal in the shape that it's ready to sell is everything. Getting the hook and something that is ready to meet the market is the difference between a piece of shit and an actual book that makes money.
Anything else, Lauren?
Dave wants to know how much.
How much is the course?
For the boot
How
camp.
much is it? $399, I think, for 6 weeks. Is that correct, Lauren?
That is correct.
Yeah.
We're giving this away. 6 weeks.
He said it's our first time test. Relax.
So dumb. This guy's so dumb.
Right? Good thing I'm running business.
Right? Sure.
That it?
Any other questions, guys? That's all we have on the docket here.
We good?
Yeah, that's about it. We'll make sure that we have.
Where do we send
the
them?
link?
Where do we send them?
So the link is going to come out in this chat right here, so you can find out about
You
the
wait
course.
so long, but that should be every 2 seconds.
There he goes.
Loves to put the link in afterwards. New rule. New rule. We got to put the link in every 5 minutes.
New rule.
New to market media
New rule.
Learned that from Grant.
Look, this isn't just about a book. This is a jump start to your media cred. This is a jump start to being an expert in a field. Like having a book and your idea is everything. It's the differentiator.
I don't like sitting this close to you.
Slide away. Waiting for Lauren to turn off the video.
Are we done yet?
You guys are all finished?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
And somebody comes in at Coach Play says, hey, Steve, Hank, Billy from Australia. Is this content video or PDF worksheets? They want to get a sense of what the program is. Talk about
Great.
how we'll actually
Didn't forget to
That's a
say
good
that.
question. Okay, so the program is 6 weeks of videos, live videos that will include Q&A, and then we got a bunch of support materials that will walk you through the entire process. Bunch of downloads. It's basically colored by numbers, write a book proposal. We will give you everything
And then
outlined.
we meet weekly on Zoom or something. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. And then obviously not just the Zoom live video, but we'll send the video if you can't make it, and all of the Q&A after the videos. And again, each week we're going to give you everything you need to fill out so that you can write the proposal on your own with our guidance. Answer the question, Warren?
yeah,
Good
Dave's
question.
asking if you guys have heard of Greenleaf. They're a hybrid. Would you recommend
That's not a
them?
hybrid, that's a self-publishing. That's honestly, Greenleaf, they're fine. There's a few others. There's Morgan James, who's an interesting hybrid, but those guys you got to pay money to. We're trying to get you money. Got to get you. What are we doing?
Say it, Lauren. Lauren's mining.
I never heard of Greenleaf. I'm looking it up. Greenleaf's
It's a TV
it's
show.
hybrid self-publishing. What else, Lauren?
All right, I think that's it. If anybody has any other questions, do you have lifetime access to the content?
Lifetime access to the content.
Well, you better not have lifetime access to the
What do you
fucking
mean? You can have the fucking videos.
right. We gotta get the proposal done.
Sure,
You can have lifetime
we actually
access.
should terminate the proposal.
Just
Yeah.
7 years later, you're still writing your 30-page proposal. You're fired.
That's a good
Ridiculous.
That's a good point.
Ridiculous.
So smart.
When writing a book, James Springer asks, when writing a book as an expert, you typically put in your pain to power story as you encourage in video.
Yes.
Of course, that's the point of when we were talking earlier about how you use your stories to show the takeaway. The stories become how you learned the end result. So the thing you're teaching everybody in the book comes about from your story of origin, the pain that you got, and then how you became an expert in the subject.
They differentiate like, why you're the only person that can. Like, Grant is crazy. He's obsessed. He's selling you on the idea that he's crazy and obsessed, and that it's okay. And even if you're not as crazy as he is, you better step up your game and get obsessed. So he's making you match his crazy. It really is. All of this is about your personality, your pain, and your personal acumen in your field. That's what you're selling.
And then the specific takeaways that you learned through the process, both for yourself and then what you taught others.
So Dave continues to ask, is there a way besides getting a great publisher to get a bestseller?
Yeah, of
Do they
course.
do it?
Writing a great freaking book, that's
Yes.
a great hook.
It's not just a great publisher. The idea has to be killer.
But you can write a bestseller with a mid-level publisher, even a low-level publisher. You want somebody that has a vested interest in your book. The problem with self-publishing when you're paying somebody like a hybrid is that they don't give a shit, right?
Just publish it.
They're,
It's done.
yeah, you're paying them to do everything. And you know, the more copies you sell, sure, they make a little bit more money on printing, but it's really the service. A publisher means that they're trying to help you sell your book. That's important because now they have the same level of risk as you.
Well, they've helped you shape it. They're taking it out into the marketplace to ideally create a bidding war between different publishing. It's in the agent's best interest, as is yours, to get the highest bid on your book. That people see the potential of this in the
That's the
marketplace.
agency game. That's totally true. But publishers themselves why you want somebody to actually invest in you and pay you money for your
Oh,
book
right. The
is
public.
because when somebody's investing money, they have a large incentive to try to earn it back. When you're self-publishing, they have zero interest in doing anything.
They don't care at all.
Just write me
It's
the
not their
check.
job.
Write me the check.
You're just paying a printing house.
Correct.
So,
Which is
Kinsey-
cool, but-
Kinsey's asking, do you have to have third-party stories before you can write the proposal?
Kinsey's going to need third-party stories because she's solving other people's problems.
Yeah.
It's hard to be in the business of I help other people and you haven't really helped other people yet.
There is a way to do it, though. You can write the book as if this is what I've learned, and it could be an open-ended, like, here's what I'm hoping to happen. So it's going to be a more vulnerable story. You could do it. It's going to be not as easy as you really want it. It's harder.
But it won't take you that long, Kinsey, to get the stories.
And we can teach you how to do that, too. We'll make you coach people in the
I just did on the call. Fantastic.
And Jeanette wants to know, do you give guidance in the workshop on how to shop the proposal?
100%, yes. It's a whole process. That's part of the entire boot camp. From week 1 to week 6, that's what we'll be doing alongside of helping you write the proposals and prepare it to be shopped and how to shop.
Writing a good proposal is the issue.
Not only that, Lauren. Not only that, Lauren. We're going to even give people the names and the contacts for who to reach out to. And we might even help a bunch of people, too.
Well, the good ones. Not the sucky ones. Don't have a sucky idea.
Well, we're going to help them get a
But we
good
do
How would
take
they have a sucky idea if we help them?
But we do
suck.
take sucky ideas and make them great. That's fun.
So Dave wants to know if there's isn't a hybrid or self-publishing better for royalties?
Of course, because you're going to own more of the book. But again, if you don't have a huge audience, you're not going to sell a lot of freaking books.
You print a book, who's buying it?
Correct. What you want, the point of this is that you get
Tell
somebody to start to help you get attention.
Tell them lessons from the movie business. Without marketing, no one's going to see your movie.
Correct.
There is no there's one every decade is a Blair Witch.
Any version of self-publishing, whether it's a hybrid or not. And I'm not saying there aren't good folks in that business, because there are good ones and bad ones, just like anything. But unless you have a tremendous audience, you self-publishing is a mistake.
Well, and the bad news, a great idea does not sell books.
It helps.
It helps, but it's not going to make
That
that a bestseller.
Well, yeah, if you know how to sell it, which is what this course is about.
You print, you take the same idea and self-publish, and take that same idea and go to a publisher.
Yes.
Which one's going to be the bestseller?
100%.
Good ideas don't. It's a crowded.
I mean, if you want to write not a bestseller, a hybrid is an interesting idea.
Correct.
So Dick wants to know, when does it start? So we're going to have the workshop start in mid-April. We'll send out dates to everybody that's signed up.
Mid-April. Lauren will get us the dates, get you the dates. It's soon, 2 to 3 weeks.
Great. I think that's all the questions that we have from the crew. You guys wrap up? Any closing statements?
I really love
Lauren
Lauren.
is great. Steve is handsome.
I'm not so nice, but Lauren's great hair.
Thank you for coming to this webinar. And bye. Lauren saying bye. Goodbye.